Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Zero Bytes podcast. I'm your host, Dark Zero.
How is everybody doing today?
Hey Jesse, how was your week? I heard that you had a major move take place. How was it?
Well, I'm not finished moving yet. Uh, we're still between places. I'm actually doing the podcast from the hotel in our city while our new place gets made ready.
Yeah, so you got your battle
So
station.
yeah, I was able to get good enough internet and a big enough desk. Uh, I moved my whole production setup into the hotel, and so you're hearing the same equipment just from a different place.
All right. As you can see, guys, I have myself a new mic set up. Uh, Hopefully I sound better than I have ever sounded.
You actually do sound quite a lot better.
But yeah, I would like to start the episode with an announcement. The Zero Bytes website is back up for the audio listeners. You will have to visit the website to check it out. It's Bytes bytes dot XeroLinux dot xyz, and for the
So glad to
video,
have that back.
for the people on you watching on YouTube, there you go. This is a new website thanks to a fan of the project. Again, there's a lot of contributors to the project, but yeah, this is the website. It's just a portal. You will be able to watch all the episodes on this website. Current ones, as you can see, the current one we're live at is already showing.
Yep,
You can click this button to go download XeroLinux, or click here to go get the audio version, or visit our forums. We have
I
a lot
like
of
how
links.
the podcast is clickable too. It's all great.
Yeah, and if you want to watch previous episodes, you just click this hamburger menu. It's explained in the text down here. You just click the hamburger menu, and you get presented with the previous episodes. So it's pretty neat. And I like how he did the logo.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's a beautiful website. It stays how should I put it? It stays it uses the same color scheme as XeroLinux, the main
wonderful
website.
time.
Yeah, this is what I call being consistent.
Yeah.
So yeah, with that being said,
I was
go
going to
ahead.
say, speaking of consistency, let's talk about OBS.
That is our first topic of the day, and it's yours. I'll let you rip.
So, as of today, February 4th, OBS Studio 29.0.1, so a minor release, was released yesterday, according to the GitHub page. And we're going to read off the list of the hotfix changes.
All right,
So, all right,
let us know.
we've got a fix for the NVIDIA Audio Effects SDK's outdated message on the noise reduction filters. I never experienced that, but that's cool.
Yeah.
Fixed a crash. You know what? That might have been on the Windows version. So 29.0.1 released for Windows, Mac, and Linux. I'm on 29.0.1 Flatpak, and you are too, right?
Yeah.
There's a crash that could happen that was fixed if you use NVIDIA's audio filters and then uninstall the SDK. That seems like a kind of an edge case. Like, why would you do that?
Well, I don't know.
Uh,
GitHub weird
yeah,
things, I guess.
they fixed the expander and upward compressor audio filter sounding distorted. That's cool. Knee width option to the upward compressor for better audio quality. A lot of just minor behind the scenes fixes here. Uh, there was a bug fix where overriding the theme on Linux could cause OBS not to start up. So that's interesting.
Yeah. And it fixed an issue that Teddy here was having.
Fixed software rendering not working properly on Linux. So that's going to be your CPU based
Yeah.
X264. That's good. Fixed a bug where the stats window would show an incorrect disk space calculation when pausing.
Yeah.
Fixed a bug on Windows where forced SDR wasn't showing up. But this is a Linux podcast, but thank you, Windows.
Yeah.
Fix a bug on Mac OS where the virtual camera would show up red.
Yeah.
Oh,
That is
this is a big one. This for all of us here, me too. Fixed a bug where Linux captures would not work correctly on X11. Big
yeah.
stuff there.
Yeah, and Teddy is saying every time I stopped a stream buffer, it would keep saying an error saying I don't have the updated drivers, and it would have to would have to restart the entire thing for it to work when
You know,
using
Teddy, I
NVENC.
used to have that. I used to have that almost every single time I streamed. Uh, Dark Zero, you can vouch for that. You remember you worked with me on a lot of things, and that's how we discovered the FBC patch.
Yeah,
Is I was trying to fix that. Uh, Now, Teddy, are you using Flatpak? Which version are you using? Because I might actually be able to give you some ideas that you probably have tried already. Yeah, what
uh,
version of OBS are you using?
I just
Okay, Flatpak,
just the
most up
kernel.
to date. It doesn't happen as much. Flatpak is way better. Uh, you
I
probably
would
already
agree.
know this, but if you didn't know this already, when you update, make sure to do Flatpak update and not just let OBS update itself, because since you're using the Flatpak, you'll have to make sure that the Flatpak NVIDIA drivers update and not just your regular. If they're out of sync, then you're going to get that version 2
That's
or that
another
error
thing.
message.
That's another thing I want to mention, that if you're using the Flatpak, and all Flatpak packages that use NVIDIA drivers that are hardware accelerated, you
Yeah,
would
this will
have to
happen in some form.
and updating the NVIDIA drivers for each package is kind of sometimes.
Yep.
I get like 5 packages that use NVIDIA driver. It downloads the NVIDIA driver 5 times. So
Uses top grade. Okay. I see you got 9 to 5 Linux up on the podcast.
yeah, this is the article for the update.
Oh,
Because
okay. Yeah, I'm going straight from GitHub.
from now on, I'm going to be showing all the subjects we talk about on the
Yeah,
stream. So
that's
either,
fantastic. Yeah.
yeah,
So what else we have? They fixed a crash on Linux when using Wayland and trying to use the automatic scene switcher.
yeah,
You'll
they
have to
fixed.
ask Voxry what he thinks if it's working better
Yeah,
from Hyperland. Fixed a bug where Alpha wouldn't output properly when using BGRA color format. Uh, Fixed a crash on startup when OBS was minimized. Man, these are good bug fixes. Yeah,
oh,
so
okay.
the compressor, I like to use it because I like to go for that 1950s American radio sound.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm
no,
serious. I really do.
that,
Since I have a bassy voice, it sounds good.
yeah.
Uh,
Uh,
Fixed a
it's good
bug
to
on
have it.
Windows where secondary displays could sometimes not show up in display capture properties. Fixed a crash on using the virtual camera as an OBS source and changing the canvas resolution. Fixed another bug on Mac OS where properties would go behind the main window after opening a file selection dialog. That actually was happening to me on not Windows, on Linux as well. I actually had that. Uh, Fixed a bug where profile encoder settings would not properly update
Uh-oh.
when what happened?
Look at the screen.
Did they
OBS
update?
OBS Studio 29.02.
I love I
Oh,
love
thank you,
Linux.
Teddy. Oh, thank you, Teddy. As we're talking about OBS Studio 29.01, 29.02 gets released.
Oh, that's funny. That is
Being living on the
hysterical.
bleeding edge. Living on the
Welcome,
bleeding edge.
welcome to Linux, guys. Oh my God, that is hysterical. What do we got here? Let's see.
Fixed the bug in 2901, which caused sources with an upward compressor filter to stop
Okay,
audio playback under certain circumstances.
yeah, it looks like the list pretty much stayed the same.
Yeah. Oh boy, time to
Oh, that's
update OBS
hilarious.
again.
Oh, good grief.
Time to update OBS again and the
Well,
NVIDIA drivers again. Oh boy.
oh,
Uh,
oh,
Teddy,
so
Teddy, you're awesome. Teddy, you're awesome.
oh, that's great. Now, let me just say, when talking about consistency, here's OBS. I mean, I think they accidentally made our point.
Yeah.
You know, we're trying to do a live podcast, and it gets updated in the middle of the stream. I find it hysterical.
I will have to wait until tomorrow morning to be able to update because the update is gonna be NVIDIA driver, OBS, OBS locale. So
Yeah, and
that's
then you
gonna
gotta right. You've got your second podcast to do today. You can't have that much downtime.
well, the second podcast I am a co-host, so it's on Matt to do all the hard work. I just record on the audio editor my side and send it his way. The
Well,
rest is
that's
up to him.
oh man, but still, now I will say that I'm having a pretty good time uh, testing OBS 29. I liked it on Nobara.
Oh yeah, Nobara is amazing when it comes to OBS. The package on Nobara is so complete; it's amazing. He's got
Yeah,
stream effects, but I think he disabled it because it doesn't work on 2901. It's
yeah.
OG.
I'm actually testing Pop OS this week because I think I'm going to be recommending it to the folks at my church. We're doing They're doing an overhaul of the whole program, how the music's being done, how the streaming is being done, how the things on the projector for people to sing along to are being done. So they came to me asking what kind of computer they should get, or if they didn't have budget to do that, what they could do. And fortunately, the guitar player and the person running the website who I'm taking over from is a Unix teacher and was okay with the recommendation of Linux. I wasn't speaking to somebody who didn't understand. I said we could probably get some extra life out of the system by moving to something Linux based, and he agreed.
XeroLinux.
Oh yeah, I think Xero would be good for this use case because it's so lean.
Well,
So
you're
yeah,
going through. All I'm gonna say is you're going. You're doing exactly what we did for our church. For our church, well, with the exception of Linux, because people over there, uh, when we're not there, they need to know what they're doing. So
yeah,
I chose to keep Windows 10 plus the fact that the laptop is from like 15 years ago. Uh, I chose Windows because just send the display to the HDMI monitors that are connected to it. So we just broadcast on the monitors next to the altar. Uh, it's the words to the prayers in
right,
Arabic.
right. Okay,
So the people, the attendees, can follow on with the prayers because they're mostly old people. They don't remember the exact words. Uh,
sure, sure.
so we broadcast those, and then we stream the entire. We have cameras all around church that are connected, security cameras basically that we're using to broadcast the stream on Facebook. Uh, so it's just my dad sitting behind OBS, switching scenes between scenes because you cannot stick too long on a single angle.
Right,
uh, so he switches from the wide angle shot of the entire church, pointing to the altar and the priest, and then he goes to another angle where it's a close up of the priest, and then another angle of the choir, then backwards and forwards. He keeps switching.
Okay.
So it's similar to what your church is trying to have set up.
Yeah, right
The
right now they're live streaming, so to speak, is a Zoom call. And I think we can do better than that.
Yeah, you can, and the basic use to that is like the other day somebody passed away, an old gentleman we used to know, very old, in his 90s, so died old
Wow.
age. Yeah, we get deaths, 3 to 4 deaths a week, uh, because my town is primarily made out of old people. Um,
Yeah.
so he passed away, but his entire family is abroad. So we broadcast the grievances and the sermon and everything. We broadcast all that on Facebook, so his family can watch live.
Well,
We
there
we
you
don't
go.
keep we don't keep stuff like that. We don't keep on the Facebook page. We just broadcast it and delete immediately after the broadcast is over. It's private stuff, so we cannot keep
Sure.
up.
Yeah,
It's
it's not meant for the public.
yeah, it's a means to connect the families to their lost loved ones over here. Because as you know, Lebanon, half the population of Lebanon, or most of the population of Lebanon, is abroad. Nobody lives in this hellhole except me, because I'm cuckoo. Uh, but yeah,
So yeah, XeroLinux will be in 2 churches,
cool. Uh,
and
uh,
definitely going to use OBS on the flat pack because we can't have auto updates in a situation like that. Bleeding edge is not something I would say would be good for churches.
yeah, true. For me, I
So
have uh, uh, OBS is doing good, but there are some things they're taking away, just like everything that gets updated.
sure, what did they take away for you?
Not for me. There are users who are complaining that some NVIDIA related stuff have been taken away. You said something once that they have taken away. That's why you're sticking to 27.24.
No,
Uh,
I've gone ahead and moved past it.
you moved past it, but
Yeah, NV FBC capture was removed when they introduced EGL native support for
yeah.
28 and 29 because
Why
they're
does the
really
project why does the project still live then?
well, I don't think that NVFBC is going to be updated. It requires 27, and I'm not sure why. I do think it's all the code related to EGL
Right.
for Wayland, and Wayland really appears to be the future that everybody Linux wise is going. So if NVFBC doesn't catch up, it's going to deprecate further.
Teddy here is saying, would 0G be more able for church, stable for church?
Oh
It
yeah,
would be.
100%. Yeah,
It
that's what I intend to use.
Yeah. It. I would recommend that over KDE. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, I
uh,
I would not want I wouldn't want Kwin to get involved because we're using projectors.
yeah.
So I would not want the inconsistencies of Kwin. As pretty as it is, we're going to be on old hardware and projectors. It's going to be Gnome.
Yeah. So I created two good things: GNOME Edition and KDE Edition, the two best the desktop environments out there. So
Yeah,
I couldn't ask for better combo. Uh,
yeah.
Another thing I want to re-announce. So I know people might not reach this point of the episode because the watch time is very low. But in case you do, I am going to announce it again. XeroLinux, as it is done. It's going to be receiving minor updates and tweaks from here on in. But we are completely open for discussion about community builds. You love XeroLinux and the way XeroLinux works, and you want to add a new desktop environment or window manager like Hyperland. And if you wanna check out anything related to Hyperland, we had a discussion with the creator in a in the previous episode.
That
So go
was
watch
such
that
a
one.
fun. That was such a fun episode. I want to just say again, that was so much fun.
It might happen again. Uh, we might have other guests coming in to chime in, but if you want to check out Hyperland because it's all the craze these days when it comes to Wayland, apparently it works on NVIDIA. Although, as the developer said, as the creator said, it's not the NVIDIA patch is not his creation. He cannot confirm nor deny, but people with NVIDIA can always try it. I'm not gonna try it because I like to have my system the way I like it, and I'm not gonna
Sure.
be using Wayland for a long time. Uh, but yeah, check out the previous episode if you wanna know more about Hyperland. But if you want to include a Hyperland release of XeroLinux, you're more than welcome. We will have soon, within the next week or so, I'm gonna create a channel called Community uh, on our Discord, where we're going to discuss. If you are interested in creating a community edition, we will discuss it on that channel. I'll add you to a certain role that only that role will be able to see that channel, not everybody.
Yeah, very very cool. Maybe
Uh,
I'll finally do what I was saying about making a budgie.
as for my subject of the week, it's again Twitter.
Oh boy.
Twitter.
Now,
Twitter. Yeah. Go
I
ahead.
do want to make one other thing, and it'll kind of segue into everything else. Um,
Okay.
Game capture does seem to be working better on 29
Yeah, I
for
noticed that
OBS.
yesterday.
Game capture is definitely doing better, and I like game capture better than NVFBC. If you're going to be going forward, it's almost
Yeah,
as good as I noticed with game capture. Not the X window capture, but specifically the game capture.
game capture. What do you mean by game capture? Because usually I just capture window, the game window.
No, there is a game capture plugin available for the Flatpak, and
Ga-
it's that's the way that Glorious Egg rolls it into the Nobara version of
Wait, wait, wait,
OBS.
wait,
Is
wait,
the
wait, 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 wait. Go back a second. There's a game capture plugin for the Flatpak.
Yes,
Why did I not know about that? Hmm?
if you do Flatpak install OBS and you get that land land landing page, that's it, where you can choose all of the different OBS Flatpak things to install.
Oh my lord. I need to update Zero Hello again. I just
Now
updated
there
it twice today.
you're going to need to install two things. There's the VK capture and the
That's already
32-bit.
part of it.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
that's what supports game capture.
wait. It's already in the list of plugins that I install.
Right. But what you're going to want to do, and uh, there's write-ups on it on GitHub as well. Uh,
All
if
right,
you
I'll check.
want if you want
I'll check.
to enable it, you actually have to pass a command to your game's executable so that
Oh,
OBS can then pick it up.
okay. Because I was planning on streaming more God of War
So
this
yeah,
time on YouTube.
are you doing it from Steam or from GOG or what?
Okay. Before, since we're talking about that, another announcement. There's a new series that will happen on this channel. It's gonna be called Zero Plays,
Yes, do the
where
thing.
Dark Zero will be streaming some multiple hours of gaming, like maybe 3, 4, 5 hours of gaming. It depends how much time I have and when I'll be announcing it. For the past week, I've been trying, but my ISP was not allowing me to. I was running into issues, as Teddy can attest to, because he was part of all my failures, my failed attempts. So enough about the gaming, but know that Zero Plays is a new series. You'll see me at some point when my ISP is back to normal, waking up. Uh, but my topic for this episode is none other than Twitter replaces its free API with a paid tier in quest to make more money.
Well, he's got to make more money. Elon Musk is broke. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, he wants to make more money to cover those $44 billion that he used to buy Twitter. The decision to remove free access to Twitter's API follows the platform updating its developer rules to ban third-party clients, as we talked about in the previous episode. Many small developers have used Twitter's free API access to create fun tools uh, and useful bots like novelty weather trackers, blah blah blah, and blah blah blah. On Thursday afternoon, Musk claimed that the free API is being abused badly by bot scammers and opinion manipulators. He believes that just $100 a month for API access with ID verification will clean things up greatly,
A
but we'll have to wait.
$100 a month?
Yes, approximately.
Small developers can't afford that. That's insane.
Yeah. So verification will clean things up greatly, but we'll have to wait and see if that pans out once free access goes away.
That's horrible. That you can't expect small developers to pay $100 a month. That's unreasonable.
Yeah. Anyway, it goes without saying
Yeah,
that
this guy's
he
nuts.
needs the guy's nuts, but he needs to make his money back. And third
This
party uh, third party clients are disabling ads. So what he's saying is basically, uh, if you're gonna get rid of my ads, I'm not gonna allow you uh, to create a third party client. But he will allow third party clients to exist as long as they go about his rules, following his rules, keeping the ads in.
I just what do you think is next in this downward spiral? What do you think is next? How long do you think that the $100 a month is going to last before that gets walked back like the rest of his bad decisions?
Well, all I can say is we are experiencing the next step. Every single developer who created a Twitter client are now creating Mastodon clients. Tapbots, who created Tweetbot for iOS, now have Ivory for Mastodon. The Phoenix Twitter client developer has his own Mastodon, working on his own Mastodon client, and so on and so forth. All the Twitter client developers are switching to Mastodon. It's a domino effect that we are seeing currently as a result, as a direct result to as I call him, elongated Musk's uh, craziness. What can we do? This is what happens when you put everything behind a paywall, and a paywall, not any paywall, but a paywall that nobody can afford.
Yeah, did he go on to elaborate what he meant by the words opinion manipulators? Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's his
What
way.
is
That's his way of getting rid of the bots and the scammers, because bots and scammers cannot bypass a paywall. That's my guess. What do you think? Sorry. What do you think?
I
Do you
just
still? Oh,
I am continuing to be just flabbergasted by the nonsense coming out. It's crazier every time I wake up. Something new, stupid is going on in the Twitterverse.
yeah. That's why a lot of people are either moving to Mastodon or just quitting Twitter and sticking to Facebook. Or what's it called? Reddit.
Yeah,
So there's a lot of Reddit clients coming out, Mastodon clients coming out, but Twitter clients, in order for Twitter clients to survive, now they have to charge exorbitant amounts of money for people to join,
Yeah.
like $20, $30 a month. I don't think a lot of people are going to stick to that. Nobody is going to pay to. Yeah, Teddy, normal people can't just afford $100 a month for Twitter. Of course not. So that's the point behind Elon Musk's decision. He doesn't want the toxicity on Twitter, and by putting Twitter's API behind a $100 paywall, you're gonna get less toxicity. What I would counter that with is you're not gonna get anyone on Twitter except companies advertising to each other, because they're not gonna be advertising to regular users because nobody's gonna be there. So, but as someone says in a movie, there's a method to my madness. Let's see what the method is.
Yeah.
With that on the side, let's discuss some XeroLinux related stuff. People keep asking me what is there going to be in the next release? Nothing. It's just going to be a bug fix release. The only version that's going to receive any additional things is 0G. It's going to receive PopShell as an addition to as an extension, and maybe I'm considering it, but too many extensions. I'm considering it. It's the ability to add folders on the dock, folder shortcuts on the dock.
Groups and individual folders. What are you thinking?
There's an extension out there that allows you to put, those folders you have in the app grid, which contains a group of applications. They call it folder or group, whatever they call it on GNOME. But now you have the ability to add it on the dock. But here's I want to ask the people in the chat. But yeah, I want to ask the viewers. It's a question that I might ask on Mastodon as well. But what do you think I should do when GNOME 44 comes out? Because we all know when a major release comes out, all the extensions break until the developers update them one by one. So should I send a message out there telling the users to kill all extensions because GNOME 44 is out, or release a version without any extensions activated and put out there for the users to build or download and use without extensions? I don't know, because that's a major issue with GNOME. Whenever a major release is out, all the extensions break while they get updated.
Yep.
So
that is the thing.
What do you guys think I should do? Because definitely 0G will break when when GNOME 44 gets released. Not all, I know, but some. So leave it up to the users. What?
How would you feel about a hold?
I cannot hold anything. It's I cannot hold, because everything is from upstream.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's up to the users, I guess. It's not on my repo, Josh. No, GNOME is not on my repo. I don't maintain packages like that. I just maintain AUR packages and packages that I create myself. But yeah, doing that removes control. So if it gets updated upstream, it gets updated for all users on 0G. So I don't know. It's a conundrum, as they call it, but I need to figure something out pretty soon. I think I'm gonna push a message out there, letting everybody know GNOME 44 is about to get released. Make sure that if you encounter an issue with an extension, please disable it until it gets updated. That's the only thing I can do.
Yeah.
So yeah, had to reboot to adjust BIOS fan settings. Oh yeah, HipDad. By the way, HipDad just upgraded his system, still on NVIDIA, but uh, he has a pretty cool setup right now. So congrats on that, Hippie. Well, the overwhelming majority wanted Gnome Edition, so I should put a warning telling them you wanted Gnome Edition. If it breaks, it's you know why, because extensions naturally break. It's natural for extensions to break. It's not something wrong with the extensions. It's when a major update gets released. Of course,
Yeah,
extensions have to need to get updated
that is life on
to
the bleeding edge.
yeah to adapt to the latest bleeding edge.
Yeah, I
It's
mean, I
normal.
think it's just like what we saw today. We're covering the release of OBS 29.0.1, and here is
29.
29.0.2 before we're
Yeah,
even done with the podcast. I mean, that is such a perfect illustration of bleeding edge, and it was
yeah.
really funny.
And I knew going into creating XeroLinux that using Arch as a base is going to cause issues for some because of its nature, rolling nature. So I put the messages out there. I tell the people it's Arch, so you should expect some breakages from time to time, and also uh, desktop environments get updated before any other distro like Debian or whatever. They're not gonna update to the latest GNOME until maybe 6-7 months down the line
Right.
to a previous version. Like GNOME 43 on Ubuntu came, I don't know, 3-4 months after GNOME 43 got released. So
Yeah. What
yeah,
can you do?
yeah, I should have based XeroLinux on Debian, like someone told me, but Debian is. I like the life on the bleeding edge. There's two types of bleeding edge as well. There's a bleeding edge on software, and there's a bleeding edge on hardware. It's a like some people I had some people on the server who had the latest greatest hardware like the 4090 and the 13th gen CPU or latest 7000 series AMD CPUs, and support for them didn't exist in the kernel yet, and they were like, why isn't your distro booting on my hardware? I'm like, support for it is still not out. You're living on the bleeding edge of hardware, not only software. So
Yeah.
you should expect such issues. So yeah, unfortunate, but that's the bleeding edge. With that being said, we still have 10 minutes to go. I'm gonna be talking about my thing of the week since you don't
Sure.
have a
Well,
thing of the week.
I guess I mean I technically do, but what's your thing of the week? Tell us.
My, my thing of the week is Mastoot. Mastoot for iOS. Mastoot is a Mastodon client for iOS. It's one of the only ones, the few ones that support the latest R4 or release 4.0 of Mastodon that allows you to edit your toots and uh, do stuff like that, and the 500 character limit and all the features of the web version of Mastodon exist in this client, which don't exist in the official Mastodon client yet. The official Mastodon client still missing a lot of features. Mastoot brings me all that. It even has a little counter on the top right corner where it shows you how many toots you have missed since last you opened the app. And it has an option to auto scroll to the latest toot. So yeah, that's my thing of the week. I love that thing. It made the switch from Twitter to Mastodon much better, especially that I can edit. The most important thing is editing because I posted a link like earlier to this broadcast. It wasn't the right one, so I had to edit my tweet and post the correct link. Otherwise, on the official client, I would have had to delete my tweet, repost my tweet, which is a little bit cumbersome. But yeah, that's my thing of the week.
Yeah.
What's sorta, kinda, sorta yours?
I'd have to say OBS again, because I played with a few different versions of it, just gauging what's going to be the most stable, what's going to be, the most productive for me. But OBS being what it is, updated while we were talking about it. I can't get over that. But it's amazing that, we have free tools, open free open source tools like this at our disposal, and that it's so widely used that it's the standard of broadcasting software. We don't
Yeah,
have a workaround. We don't have something cheap like GIMP to Photoshop. OBS for the most part is OBS on Linux.
yeah, but what's the name of the Streamlabs? The other one, Streamlabs.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
well, I mean, Streamlabs runs very much, from what I understand, like a fork of OBS, and it's not straight up. They did have to change their app name to Streamlabs Desktop. They're not allowed to call it Streamlabs OBS because they were getting heat from OBS. Users were getting confused that tutorials for one, excuse me, didn't work for the other. They couldn't call it OBS anymore because of all the changes they made after they took the code and ran with it.
yeah, but you have to admit that Streamlabs for streamers, especially game streamers, is a hell of a lot better than OBS.
Uh, I don't know that I'd say better. I'd say that it is easier to get running.
Especially that you have the
The theming
overlay.
built right in, yeah,
Yeah.
really, really cool. And I haven't seen something comparable
Well,
except for the owned .3D plugin, but that stopped working after version 27.
one thing I must say is, for example, since you introduced me to Element, Stream Element, I noticed that for YouTube streaming, they don't hook into the chat API. They can't hook
No,
into the chat API
you have to
because
pull that into OBS yourself.
I tried. It looked very small and it was awkward and it was a mess. But as soon as you log in via your Twitch account and you want to stream on Twitch, the API is open. The chat API is open on Twitch. On YouTube is closed source,
Right.
so that limits Stream Elements' ability to hook into the chat. So
Correct.
all the themes you find on Stream Elements have the chat part
Right.
removed.
Because Twitch is their primary user base.
Yeah, and in order to they can hook into the chat API to YouTube's chat API, but they have to pay exorbitant amounts of money. Uh, so they chose
A
to
hundred
do it.
dollars a month?
What I think it's more even.
No way.
Uh,
Wow.
it's not users. I'm saying Stream Elements, the company,
Right, right.
should pay YouTube to get access to their API. Then they would have, at that point, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they made everything paid on Streamlabs because in order to get the chat, they would have to pay for it. And how would they pay for it? By charging the users.
Well,
Uh,
I mean, I really do think that we're going to continue to see an uptick in both YouTube and Twitch game streamers on Linux platforms. I've been saying it, you know, that the Steam Deck is going to bring a lot of that, and I don't know that they'll all be good at it. I think you're going to have a lot of people that think they know Linux because the Stream Deck runs it, and then they're going to get mad that things don't work like Windows. But I do think that, as Microsoft continues to upset the user base and restrict what you can do in Windows and just generally annoy people, more and more gamers and streamers and content creators are going to take Linux seriously. So hopefully, you know, these enhancement platforms, if you will, maybe they'll finally start to take notice.
yeah.
I
Uh,
I reached out to owned 3D, I talked to them on their support Discord, and they don't seem interested in updating the plugin that I showed you that I was using before. They didn't seem interested in making it work past version 27. So that was
Yeah,
the
and
only one that I knew that worked via plugin. Everything else is URL based browser stuff.
yeah, and I noticed another thing I noticed is the StreamFX developers. They used to have their beta versions available to everyone, but now they put the beta and alpha and all the testing versions behind a paywall. Uh, you
Okay,
want to?
Josh, I like that. Capturing the chat in a browser. Is that how you wound up doing it?
Yeah, that's what I tried. When I tried to crop, it made everything small. But I think I'm gonna do the matte thing that I just. By the way, guys, this is the first episode where we are capturing directly from Discord. No more Jitsi.
I
So
think
I'm
we've
doing.
had a better stream overall. Watching it back on another monitor, it looks much better than it did.
Yeah, Jitsi is out the window for me.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
it feels like it had to have been a bandwidth waste, to capture it one way and then pipe it another way.
yeah. Uh, but
Well,
today it's an issue with my ISP more than it is an issue with OBS or anything or Discord. Discord has not failed yet. Discord has been the only thing that has been working as a constant since we started the podcast. Uh,
yeah,
so Josh, I'll be doing this the matte thing where I'll be capturing and framing like I just did for for Discord right now, like today. So I'm gonna be trying it, but my problem with that is I cannot set a semi-translucent background. I don't know if I can do that or how I can do that. I need to test. A lot of testing has to happen. But I'll ask Matt how if he knows how I can do it or whatever, or Chris Titus Tech. I'll reach out, but capturing the window is like it looks ugly. But anyway,
yeah.
uh,
I
that
was a little worried that we weren't going to be able to do the podcast today.
thank you guys for sticking with us through this painful episode due to my ISP. Hopefully next week it'll be much better because I'm gonna call the ISP once we hang up right now, once we end the episode. And Jesse, thank you for being part of the episode again, even through all your endeavors and your moving and stuff.
Yeah.
Uh,
Now I know that we won't have to stop the streaming just because I'm in a hotel. The Wi-Fi seems to support it, so that's great.
yeah. Anyway, thank you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. All right. It's time for me to go. I actually have an interview with the local newspaper later today, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to run away and do that.
You let us know next week how it goes, how it went.
Absolutely, yeah. And everybody, don't forget to check Steve out later today for his second podcast.
Yeah. Hopefully that podcast will go much better. Guys, don't forget today at 3 p.m. Eastern time, I'll be on the Linux cast. Hopefully no issues will happen there. So I'll announce it when the time comes. So with that,
All
this
right.
is Dark Zero signing out. See ya, guys.